In addition to saying Canada's recognition of a Palestinian state will negatively impact ongoing trade negotiations, the White House press secretary offered this reason why Donald Trump doesn't support the move.
He feels as though that's rewarding Hamas at a time where Hamas is the true impediment to a ceasefire and to the release of all of the hostages.
The government of Israel also rejecting Carney's announcement, calling it a reward for Hamas. Yesterday, Mark Carney announced Canada will recognize an independent state of Palestine at the next United Nations General Assembly in September. The Prime Minister saying the recognition comes with conditions, saying Hamas must not take part in the governance of a new Palestinian state. Elections must be held next year. Democratic reforms must be made, and demilitarization must occur in the new state. Carney's announcement coming after similar announcements from the UK and from France. Now, the announcement coming amid a humanitarian disaster in Gaza, where there is widespread starvation and malnutrition that's led to a sharp rise in hunger-related deaths. Many are blaming Israel for not allowing the free flow of aid into the enclave. Today, the Prime Minister says another airlift of Canadian aid landed in Gaza with the help of partners in Jordan. Now, for more on this, I'm joined live tonight by Akaash Maharaj. He's a senior fellow with the Munk School of Global Affairs and an ambassador at large for the Global Organization of Parliamentarians Against Corruption. Akaash, thanks for being with us tonight. Is the promise of recognition a reward for Hamas, as Israel and the U.S. are suggesting?
I think it might be more accurate to say that it's a rebuke against the Netanyahu government. The government of Canada has made it clear that its recognition of the state of Palestine is contingent on Hamas playing no role in that state's government. If Canada holds to that condition, and if other states follow suit, then this could contribute to the dismantling of Hamas. It would mean that these states had achieved through diplomacy what the government of Israel has not been able to achieve through force of arms. But the people of Israel are right to be wary and skeptical. The real question isn't whether states are placing these conditions, it's whether they will enforce them. In other words, if after the General Assembly convenes this autumn, Hamas persists in the political apparatus in Gaza, what will those countries do about it? Really, it depends on how the actors, Israel, Hamas, Fatah, respond.
Do you think that this declaration by Carney and by France and the UK will have an impact on the war itself and the humanitarian situation that we're seeing unfolding on the ground?
That is everyone's hope. Right now, there's a great deal of dispute about how many people have been killed. The most modest figures, ones that have been agreed to by the Israeli military, are that about 58,000 Palestinians have been killed, but estimates range as high as 80,000. And the best estimates of people facing hunger is that about 470,000 people are facing catastrophic levels of hunger, the worst metric used by the IPC. The government of the United Kingdom has taken a different approach. It has said that it will recognize the state of Palestine unless Israel takes certain steps, 3 steps in particular. One of them is to allow the United Nations to restart delivery of food, water, and medicine. The second is to agree to a ceasefire. And the third is to renounce all plans to annex the West Bank. If the UK's threat to proceed, unless Israel acts in this way, shakes the Netanyahu government, then it will have an impact. But as for France and Canada, they have made no such conditions. They have, Canada's conditions are on the Palestinians. The ball really is in Netanyahu's court. He can double down, he can intensify the war to show that he is not going to be swayed by these decisions, or he can concede the 3 points that Prime Minister Keir Starmer has raised in the United Kingdom and hope that that mollifies political actors in France and Canada as well.
Did Carney make a mistake not including conditions for Israel to follow as well, like Starmer did?
You know, it's an interesting question because Carney issued his statement after Keir Starmer. He and his advisors had a chance to review the British statement. What I think this really means is that Carney is determined that Canada will recognize the state of Palestine at the UN General Assembly and is not prepared to give Netanyahu an opportunity to derail this. The consequences will be significant, more in Canada than on the international scene. This is and will be highly controversial within Canada, and not just, frankly, between Jewish Canadians and Muslim Canadians, but also within those communities.
That's Akaash Maharaj with the Munk School of Global Affairs at the University of Toronto. Akaash, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.